Want help to grow your business? Download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.
Hello and welcome to The Human Element. My name's Nicole Wales. I'm the founder and managing director of Human Tribe and your host for the Human Element series. Today we're here to talk about how to find the best people for your business. Now there's an old saying in recruitment that says too often businesses will hire for skill and then fire for fit, rather than hiring for fit and developing skill. In our experience at Human Tribe, too often we find businesses use work experience as the key determinant of whether someone gets a job role with them or not. When it comes to finding the best people for your business, it is so much more than that. Today, I'm really excited to introduce to you our special guest, Christine Khor. Christine is the Managing Director of Chorus Executive. She is the Victorian Chairperson of the Hunger Project. In 2015, she was a Telstra Business Woman of the Year finalist, and she also just recently published her book, Higher Love. Christine, welcome to The Human Element.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for being here with us today. I think this is a really important topic because often business owners and leaders see, when someone leaves, sees recruitment as a bit of a pain in the butt and something that diverts them from their core business. But we know how important it is. And I'm really looking forward to you sharing your knowledge and experience with us here today. I'd like to start, if you're okay, with the first topic of leaders in business about knowing what they want. When it comes to finding the right people for their business, what are you talking about when they need to know what they want?
So I use an example. Imagine going into a travel agency and you say to that travel agency agent, I want a really great holiday. And the travel agent and the travel agent says, great, what does that mean? You go, I don't know. I'll know it when I see it. So just book me a great holiday and then I'll pay for it. And the poor travel agent sitting there saying, I don't know whether you want, if you like adventure, if you like cold, if you like hot, if you like drinking, if you like eating, if you like running, don't know anything about you, but you want something great. And time after time, whether it's through a recruitment agency or whether it's directly, internally through a manager, people don't seem to know what they want. So the first thing is really understanding what the business is about, the purpose of the business, about understanding the values and the goals. A recent research study indicated that 63% of employees did not understand the purpose or the goals of their organisation.
Wow.
Which means that they were turning up to work, so 63% of people were turning up to work, doing stuff, and actually don't understand what that stuff, what's the impact of their activity day by day.
Yep.
So you need to know what the business is there for, the purpose, the goals, and it's more than just making money.
Yep.
And then you've got to understand what's the role, like what actually is important for the role. Have clear KPIs, or we call them key performance indicators, or kept promises. Like what do you actually need people to do?
Yep.
And then so that people know what they're there for and what success is going to look like. I mean, every single person wants to turn up every day and know that they've added value in some way. And if you don't have the goals, you don't have the success factors, you don't have the promises that you're keeping, you don't know. So we spend a lot of time through our briefing process to understand what is really important and what are the key things of any role.
And I agree 100%. I often find with business owners that maybe don't have the size or budget to use a recruitment agent. As I said previously, they focus on just work experience. I had a business owner recently who actually has 200 staff, so reasonably big, retail, and he said to me, I just want people with common sense. How do I find common sense? And then I started to say, well, what does common sense look like to you? And I think that's really important because so often people do focus on the work experience, their history, rather than the behaviours.
Absolutely.
Do you have anything to add about that?
So we have a saying, skill without will is absolutely useless. And every time I say that, I give the example of my children. My children are 8 and 11. They absolutely know how to make their bed, how to stack the dishwasher, and how to put their clothes in the laundry basket. They absolutely know it. They have the skill.
Yep.
They have absolutely no will and no desire to do it.
Yep.
So their only incentive is when I kick them up the bottom
Yep.
or I scream at them, which I think lots of owners of businesses feel that they have to do all the time. They have to tell their staff to do things. What's most important, there's a certain level of skill level that is required for any role, or capacity or capability to learn that.
Yep.
But the most important thing is the will or desire. I would much rather hire somebody that's got the passion, the desire, the will to do what I need them to do, and I will teach them the skill rather than they can do it, but it's below them.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm over that. I don't need to do that. And they're the ones that at 5 o'clock leave.
Yeah.
I also find the thing with owners of businesses, and I'm one of those owners of businesses.
Yep.
Because we're small and money, resources are tight. We need people to be able to do 17 different things.
Yes.
And you know what? That person doesn't exist.
Yep.
And the other thing for owners, there will never be anyone as good as you.
Yep.
Because if they're as good as you, they'd have their own business. They're not going to work for you.
Yep.
So manage your expectations, because it's unfair to think that someone's going to love your business as much as you love their business. And if they do, make them a business owner, make them a shareholder, and keep them.
Yeah, brilliant advice. Often I know when I talk to leaders in business and we talk about fit, it gets a bit blurry, because I think we're talking about hiring clones or similar people. How do you talk to business and business owners around, looking at the fit of the person with the organisation?
Yep. It's all about aligned values. It's all around alignment to the goals and the purpose.
Yes.
And it's just understanding them. So I think recruitment is a really hard thing, and it can be expensive.
Yeah.
But it's more expensive to get it wrong.
Absolutely.
Because there's estimates and there's research studies, gazillions of them, but it's anywhere from 3 to 15 times is the cost of an employee in their first year.
Yep.
Right? So as I said, to hire a person at $80,000 package can cost you anywhere from $240,000 to $1.2 million, depending on what their role is. So it's important to meet a range of people and to test their values and their personality and their ambitions and their purpose, as well as their skill. And I guess, that's where we come into play. As a recruitment consultancy, our job is to meet many, many different people that can do the job, and then direct you to the person that wants to do your job. When you're doing it yourself as a business owner, what I'd advise you to do is, again, go broader. It can seem like painful and it takes a lot of time, and it does. It takes a whole lot of time.
Yeah.
But meet a lot of people and look at what they can do, but really, again, what do they want to do?
Yeah, yeah. It reminds me of that old saying, so again, I'm using all these old sayings, but so often we hire quick and fire slow, when the really strong organisations are hiring slow and then firing quick.
Yep.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Absolutely, absolutely. So when I hire for my own business, I always say to people, we have an intense but quick process, but it is really intense.
Yes.
So it's a telephone screen for 45 minutes first, and then you go away and think about it, and you come back to me and you tell me why you want to join us. Then you meet me in person. Then you meet the general manager and director. Then you meet some of the team. Then we do site testing, and then you come and have a walk around. Now that all can be done in a week or 2 weeks.
Yes. Yep.
Well, 2 weeks because I send you away. But it's very, very intense. But if it isn't working, we have those conversations up front.
Yes.
Because it's like dating, right? If it's not working for one, it's generally not working for the other. As much as you say, but I love him, it's not working, right? So you've got to have that honest conversation. And that's why I do love the idea that, Google and there's another business that I'm looking at, I work with, they are actually paying people to resign after the first month. Or the first, yeah. So Google do it, and there's a new company, Inventium. They're talking about it too. I wonder if I should have mentioned that, but it's really important to say so that people are really thinking about these, thinking about where they're working and really questioning: do they really want to be there? Not can they be there?
Yeah.
Do they really want to be there?
Yeah. And look, no matter what you do, obviously there's things that you can do to increase your success rate in terms of finding the best people. But we're dealing with humans, so it still is an inexact science, right? But there's things that we can do to minimise the risk of potentially hiring someone that's not right for the business.
And that's all my book's about.
Yeah.
The book is all about how you go through the process and you think about things and think about the other person.
Yes.
You know, as a business owner, as an employer, as a manager, you think, what do I need? I've got, customers, I've got issues, I've got cash flow, I've got all these things. So what do I need? It's all about me.
Yes.
Well, in fact, when you want to hire somebody into your business you want them to be passionate, you want them to release their discretionary effort, you want them to be passionate, you need to think about what's in it for them.
Yeah,
absolutely. For anybody that's married, in a partnership or anything, it's not just about you. You've got to compromise. You've got to think what's best for them.
Yeah.
You've got to work together. And I see the employment relationship as exactly the same as any other friendship or relationship that you have. It's give and take.
Yeah.
And there needs to be, that other person needs to be getting something out of it more than just...
To continue enjoying this presentation, download BRiN, the world's first business advisor in your pocket. To find out more, visit BRiN.ai or search the App Store today.